Samuel Bankman Fried is guilty. That's not really a shocker to any of us, but it is good news to hear that after a long process of fraud and crime and really a black eye on the entire crypto community from a person that was considered to be maybe a guru, maybe a hero of crypto, someone who is going to bring the rest of the world into the crypto space, his many crimes took about 2 hours for a judge to see right through his crocodile tears and say this man is guilty. They're laying it on, though, thick, though. His family article coming out this morning. Sam Bankman-Fried's parents in tears as privileged son faces up to 115 years in jail. Now, where were those tears when they were helping him commit all this fraud? That's a good question to ask. Even when they were calling him up and saying you're not paying enough money. My theory is if any of these tears from them were real, it might not have been out of sadness for their son. Might be because they suspect they could be next. But some interesting details here about this is that even though he was guilty of 7 of 7 accounts, we will not know what actually happens to him until March 28th. Where is that part of the article? I'm not finding it right here. Either way, though, his sentencing will not be happening until March 28th. Guess what that is? That's my birthday. So happy birthday to me. Not happy birthday to Sam Bankman-Fried. The question is, what does this mean for crypto? What does this mean for Bitcoin's price, Cardano's price, Ethereum's price, Solana's price? What does it mean for the crypto world? And the reality is, at the moment, really probably nothing. You know, things are dipping right now. We're going to go check out the charts here in a second. I don't think this has major effect. In fact, if Sam Bankman-Fried, I think his impact on how crypto operates moving forward is coming to an end if it isn't already. But it is good news to hear that justice is still being done. But now let's direct our attention to the charts. Let's take a look at Bitcoin first of all. Again, I told you everything is starting to kind of slump. We got to go all the way to the 15-minute chart so you guys can even get a good picture of what is happening. Sure enough, Bitcoin did pretty much, guys, exactly what I predicted it would do. Now, technically speaking, again, I want to clarify this. While support levels are being lost, I'm not saying that it's over. I'm not saying that it's 100% certain that Bitcoin cannot rally up to 40,000 before a big pullback first. But we are seeing the signs that we have called out on this channel that a Bart Simpson's pattern very much looks like it is in play. This morning, even, we lost the support level that I told you guys all about. If we could not hold the support level of this pennant, we cancel that bull pennant out. Guys, we've already played out the bullish action. We moved to the upside. We went exactly to where I said we were going to go. We kissed $36,000 right on the line. Filled up that CME gap. But now we're moving to the downside. And you guys can see with this green line, there's a downward action here on the 15-minute chart. Resistance is falling, and we cannot break through that green line. So, bulls, if you want to regain, you got to start by regaining this green line. Stop setting this trend of lower highs and lower lows we're in right now. But losing this support right here, this blue line, and coming down to about 34,200. We actually dropped as low as 34,100. You're losing some key support to keep that bull pennant in check. Now, is this a fake out? Could we move back to the upside? Absolutely, we could. But that's not all that is happening here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other things going on. Moving up to the 1-hour chart. Now, turning on our Market Oracle Pro from Chart Prime. You guys know we love Chart Prime. I don't give Chart Prime enough credit on these morning videos because they are a sponsor of our charting section, the best tool to trade with. But this dynamic reactor on Chart Prime has been something very powerful here on the 1-hourly chart. In fact, the last time we were below this dynamic reactor was all the way back on October 15th. We crossed above it, and since then have not really even used it as support until here more recently within the ending of this bull pennant. But of course, we bounced, moved to the upside. Well, this morning we have lost that support level and we're moving to the downside. This isn't the only one, though. As you start to look at SMAs, we're losing some key SMAs as well. This is the hourly chart. We're starting to lose that 200 SMA. Again, that's another one. It's been support here for a very, very long time. You kind of move up the charts. 4-hour chart, we just lost the 50 SMA. And as you start to continue to move up and you pull up other indicators, there's just been some really bullish things that are starting to fail after being overextended here on the Bollinger Bands, which is very normal. A lot of people think when you touch the top or bottom of a Bollinger Band, you have to reverse. No, in fact, when breakouts happen, you usually explode out of the Bollinger Bands and keep it rallying extremely high to the upside. But once you start to make that sideways move and cool off, a lot of times you do see that volatility metric. This is a Bollinger Band, it's a volatility metric. You start to see the price move back to the downside and come back down to reality. How far that is, well, let's kind of zoom in once again. Let's take down the Bollinger Bands and let's take a look at some other metrics here on Bitcoin that you definitely need to be keeping your eye on. In fact, let's go out to the hourly chart. Get not so much room here. Now, again, I told you the support level being lost on this pennant, that's a big deal. But let's take a look at some other things you should be watching on Bitcoin's price using our fixed range volume profile right here. You'll see we also lost the point of control here within this pennant. We're looking at 33,800 is the value area low. It will be interesting to see when Bitcoin gets down there, and I do think it will, because as you start to pull back up some oscillators on maybe the 4-hour chart and up, you're seeing that we definitely have room to go to the downside. In fact, except for when we first corrected in this pennant, we're getting to the place where we're at the lowest throughout the whole thing. Now, we're getting some green MVP oscillators, so expect some volatility here. It's not going to be just straight down, but watch out for what happens around 33,800. Do we find some support and make a little bit more of a bounce, or do we lose it and start the overall correction back down towards $30,000? That's kind of where we're sitting at right now with Bitcoin's price. We'll keep you guys updated, but we've called this one kind of right this week. Was I wrong about us blasting all the way up to 36K from 3 weeks ago? Absolutely I was. But now that we've kind of gotten our heads back on our shoulders, we're following out the pattern that we have called here kind of perfectly, down pretty much to the dollar. 36,000 was hit, and now a correction seems to be coming in. You know what? The truth is almost everything that we called, we got very, very close. 31,000 was one we were very interested in. Cardano actually broke up. When we're talking about Cardano, broke up to 33 cents. But the problem is 33 cents is pretty good resistance. I will say, if we can mount some more bullishness on Cardano, if we can break that 33 cents, 36 cents is an easy gain once you break through there. Because when you take a look at volume profile, 33 cents is right here in this valley, this gap. I've told you guys before, and I'll say it again, gaps are very strong levels of support and resistance. But if you can break through them, look at how the volume just really doesn't pick up any type of steam all the way up until about 36 cents. I think that if, that's a big if, but if Cardano can remount a rally, you guys can see we broke through a support level. If we can gain some support and start to rally again, have a Solana type rally here, we could see it boost back up here to value area high around 36 cents, because again, there's just not a lot of resistance between us and that level. Keep an eye out there on Cardano. But for now, again, we are retracing. This is something that I don't love seeing here, guys. Yes, we have a big green histogram here for volume, but the candle's not necessarily that big. And then we have a very big red histogram, and the candle's not that big. That, a lot of times, is a confirmation of a resistance hitting. That's a lot of selling pressure now coming in. So I want to see the bulls bounce here on that blue line. Do not lose, this falling blue line. Don't lose that line. Bounce here somewhere around 31 cents and make a move back to the upside if the bulls want to continue. But that is where we are sitting right now with Cardano. Solana pretty much hit exactly where we talked about. You guys remember we discussed this ascending triangle breakout prediction to where? Right at 46, and I think I said 46.60, and guess what? That wick right there, I'm going to go and just look it up to make sure I get that number exactly right. 46.65. So guys, I was off by 5 cents, and I'm deeply sorry about my Solana prediction. I did not know we would go an extra 5 cents to the upside. I said take profit at 46.60. That is my bad. But it does look like we are correcting down to the downside, as we should. Again, these massive rallies always come with corrections. Could we find support on this rising yellow line? This is my breakout pattern. I'll go ahead and take that down. Could we find a correction on this rising yellow line? That's former resistance. Could we turn it into support somewhere here around $36? Could be very interesting, around $36.30. Or do we make a move back down to the resistance level back here at $27? Do we make a move back down to $27, turn it into support? That would be very, very bullish. I think there's a decent chance, guys, we're going to see a 27 cent Solana. Have I been saying? Yeah, dollar. Okay. Well, my bad, guys. Dollar, not cents. Sometimes I mix up the coins and which ones are in the cents and which ones are in the dollars. $27 for Solana does look like it could be a very real opportunity. Now, here's the thing with Ethereum. Ethereum is one of the coins that got very, very close to our prediction, did not quite hit it. Unless we see Ethereum have a little bit of a day of its own, we might not get all the way up to this resistance level. We talked about 1900 being in play, hitting this red line, also being a very strong psychological level. Ethereum, just nothing is really making it pick up steam. Has it had a rally? Yeah, it's had a rally. It moved to the upside, but nowhere near as explosively as the likes of Bitcoin and Solana, and even Cardano recently has had some pretty good pumps. We got rejected at that point of control right there at 1861. Yeah, we wicked up slightly above it, 1870, but as a whole, that point of control seems to continue to be strong. Watch out for a fall back down to value area high, somewhere here about 1700 on Ethereum, unless we see it just mount up a rally of its own. But I'm not seeing that happen. In fact, I think all the hype that we have seen over the last 3 weeks, it's calming down. The volume we're seeing come in is not volume of momentum. It's volume of correction that is coming in, and that's not something you want to see if you are a bull right now. Now, does that mean it's over? Does that mean there's no way we continue to the upside? I'm not saying that, but I am saying that the bulls seem to be cooling off. That doesn't change the titles. You're still going to see a lot of headlines with a lot of bullish predictions that people are talking about the next bull market being crazy high. Guys, me, myself, I have very high predictions for a lot of these coins, but that doesn't mean the time is right now. This is the time of choppy volatility in crypto, and after an explosive move to the upside, that's more often than not followed by, I'm not going to say explosive, but I'm going to say a drop back down to former support levels at the least. Some of these coins might even continue to move further lows than they were even a couple of weeks ago. We're going to have to continue to see how that one shakes out. But for now, you guys have had a good rally here. Bulls have had a great rally. If you haven't taken profit already, I would, non-financial advice, but encourage you to think about taking some profit potentially for a good recuperation here later on when you can scoop up some great prices lower. No matter what, guys, we are going to have an explosive bull market. We are going to be moving up into the right. Remember that we have ETFs coming out more than likely within the next 3 to 5 months, I would say. March is I think March is about the latest I'm going to predict that those could be coming out. Of course, then in April, we have a Bitcoin halving that will really boost Bitcoin, but we all know when Bitcoin moves up, altcoins are not far behind. The crypto bull market is coming. Prepare yourself. Be ready. But that means you got to continue to watch those charts, watch the news. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already to learn every single day more about TA, about the news, how to operate in this chaotic market. We have this 8:30 morning video, a 9 a.m. news update with T-Shroom, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we have a live show from 3 to 4. Saturdays, it's 11 to 12. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss them. With that said, though, guys, you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.